Welcome to the Navigator podcast. Welcome to the Navigator. Today I have with me Patrick Britton. Patrick's one of our senior consultants. So this is your first time with the Navigator. Thanks, Patrick.
Thanks for having me, Brad.
So long and varied past. Again, we've gone through that. It's out on our website. But I know one of your passions is employee engagement. And with whatever you want to call it, the great resignation through the COVID period, 10 million people leaving their jobs. And we don't know why, but I would think one of the causes is employee engagement. So what do you see as kind of the crux behind employee engagement and the importance of it?
Oh, great question, Brad. And I would agree. I think the look at the great resignation really kind of exemplifies the fact that we've got a number of people, or a large portion of our work population, that just doesn't feel satisfied at work. And a lot of that comes from the ability of employers to make them feel like they're part of the process. As we see the changing of the generations in the workforce, the younger generations need to feel more like they're part of something rather than just like they're making money to go home and support their families.
So when you think of, what is employee engagement? It's two nice words, and again, we want them to feel involved, but does that mean I have to take every one of their opinions and say, oh, that one's a good one, we're going to use it? Is this I don't want to be the trite, but is this the trophy, the participation trophy, or is this really they want to feel intellectually and engaged?
I think they want to feel intellectually engaged, Brad. I think in a lot of cases, the important thing is to listen to employees. Let them know that if they've got an idea, that you're going to listen to them. You don't actually have to take every idea and put it into practice, but to let them know that they are part of the organization, they're part of the process, and they can make suggestions and that they will be heard. I also think it's really important that you get the employees to be in alignment with the strategic vision and the strategic goals of the organization as well. Let them see where the company is trying to go. Let them be involved in where the company is involved in the community itself. So every organization, whether it be a company or a nonprofit, they are part of the communities in which they work and in which their employees live. So let them have some say and let them be involved in that part of the organization as well. So it's them feeling like they are aligned with the organizational goals, letting them see how the organization is involved in the communities in which they work and live. Again, letting them see that they're aligned with the vision, the strategic vision of the company, as well as the core values of the company. And I think the alignment of the core values, not just with the employee's vision, but the company living out those core values so that they can see an alignment of them.
Got it. And so, how do you measure it? Because again, I've always been one of those people. I want to make a difference, and I want to see that I can make a difference. And if people won't let me, then I'm kind of out of there. But how do you measure it? Is it a subjective, objective? Are there tools?
It's both, Brad. I think the most important thing is companies being aware of it, leaders being aware of it. But there are a lot of different ways that you can measure employee engagement. Quick and easy are regular employee pulse surveys, where you actually use a tool like a Survey Monkey to send out a short 10 or 20 question survey to your team, asking them different things about the organization. Are they happy to be at work? Would they recommend somebody else in the organization work for the company? And then also you can ask them some open-ended questions to get their ideas. Just the survey itself makes employees feel engaged. It makes them feel valued. But the ability to filter that information and look for potential gaps in that engagement, where you might see employees in certain departments might feel less involved, that's a great tool. And as part of that, you can conduct that one question, would you recommend a friend or family member work for this company? You can use that to measure the employee net promoter score. And that's a great tool to track your progress over time. So you can look at that number and see how it changes. If you do that survey quarterly, you can see how that number goes up over time.
Well, and I think it's also management, I'll say having the confidence to allow people to be engaged as opposed to this kind of hierarchical, I need minions. No, I need people who think. And if I unleash that power, part of it, I think, is fear. If I unleash that power, my God, what will I get versus what will I get? Let's go give it a shot.
Absolutely. And I think some of that is also the fact that management and middle management often fears that if they open up that dialogue with their direct reports and show that to the people that are above them, senior management, that they may be exposed. And there's a fear there in the middle management level for sure.
Got it. Because I think this ties so much into next generation leadership, which again to me is non-positional.
Yes. And this is a spot, this is a category, Brad, where I think skip level meetings also are a great way to get employees engaged. And for those that might not be aware, a skip level meeting is where a manager will go and talk to somebody that reports to one of their direct reports. So you'll skip a level in that reporting structure and just have whether it be a formal 30-minute meeting or an informal 15-minute meeting. It makes people feel like they're engaged higher up the food chain. And it's a great opportunity for management and leaders to identify the future leaders in the company.
Well, but I think back to your key, it's about listening and listening with intent and listening to understand versus, I'll say, just listening as an obligation. Like, I spent my 5 minutes. I don't know what else they wanted. Well, they actually wanted to be listened to, which again is very different than being heard.
Yes. And I think that's one of those, I once had one of my mentors had told me, they called it tell me more. If you take that tell me more philosophy into the conversation with people at work, where you want to find out, ask them for more information without just saying, tell me more, whether it's something personal about them where they feel like you're bonded or something specifically about work, just follow up questions and listening for the details that they're sharing. And then taking a couple of minutes when you're done with that meeting to maybe take some notes or make a mental note so that you remember it, so that the next time you speak to that employee, you remember something either personal or something of value that they brought to the business conversation and bringing it back up. Now that employee feels like they're part of something bigger, not just a cog in the machine.
So this phrase is just more than, a box of cereal in the morning or, a commercial slogan. It's really, you have to have the willpower to do it. But I think the benefit is there.
Employee engagement, Brad, is just like any of the other processes that we work with our customers on. It takes effort and it takes work, but the value that it brings to the organization is crucial. You've got happier employees, you've got higher retention and lower turnover, and who in our industry would not like to maintain their top level employees right now? It's definitely a challenge. You got higher productivity and you've got higher customer satisfaction. So you've got 4 key drivers there that can help your business be successful.
Great. Well, thank you for the conversation, Patrick.
Thank you, Brad.